Hey guys, Detective Fail here, or Dia for short. Hope you're doing well. I'm back with another review, this time on Armored Core 5. Let's get started. From developer studio Fromsoftware and directed by Naoyuki Takahashi, Armored Core 5 is the next installment of the Armored Core series, released in 2012. You play as a rookie in the forces of the Resistance against the city police. Playing this entry after I played Armored Core 4 Answer is such a wild feeling, especially since I started officially with the series with Armored Core 2 and have enjoyed all of the entries up to 4 Answer. Well, except Ninebreaker, but that's a story for another day. And so when I started to play Armored Core 5, I wondered if I would enjoy this entry too, and is it worth playing for newcomers? And the answer is very mixed. First off, your mech is bulky and can't fly high to the sky anymore like in past entries, and the game maintains a mech altitude closer to the ground. If you want to go at a higher altitude, you need to wall boost your way by repeatedly jumping onto buildings. Certainly, you can customize your AC with light parts, light load, and a big generator with a low consumption booster in becoming more mobile, but it's just not the same as the previous titles due to the other added features which I'll go into. Controlling your AC, especially at the start, feels clunky and slow throughout the game. I even completed all of the story and optional order missions and still feel that to some extent. I did update my builds more than several times to see any difference or if my feelings would shift. And upon reflection, my feelings adjusted once I tried to see these new developments under different lenses, and thematically, I feel it does work to some extent. Combat feels a bit more personal since you're mostly fighting in cities and other open areas in a wasteland, but mostly the former than the latter. And it feels better winning these close encounters with an AC than battling them from far away. However, there are just too many changes here I did not like, such as the implementation of online modes. I can't even access the online features since the servers are down, which is a shame. I think there are some workarounds to it for PC and emulation, but I'm not sure on that front. In addition to that, making scan mode mandatory to recover energy at a faster rate. Seeing objective routes and the inability to attack feels like a weird compromise to make the gameplay feel more tactical. Ultimately, I felt it was bothersome and distracted me from fighting. Even when I could activate and deactivate it at a moment's notice, the mechanic seems a bit weird to use. And while I appreciate some moments for it, I just didn't like utilizing the feature throughout my playthrough. I also didn't like the multiple resistances here, you have to remember. It's too complicated playing rock paper scissors, further confusing newcomers and perhaps veterans like me and wondering why my weapons aren't effective. So, it sucks when you're already on a mission and can't complete it because you don't have the right weapon to be more effective in damaging the enemy. Sure, you have workshop sites to change parts, but good luck changing that when you're facing off an enemy AC and can't find a workshop site available, and you can't enter a site if enemies are nearby. So these new elements are more of a chore. Aside from these mixed feelings I do have with the game, I do appreciate some other new changes like sorties, which allows the players to restart from a save checkpoint within story missions. This is a feature I super love and makes redoing missions less of a frustration and more of an easier way to retry attempts. I love how you can go to multiple workshop sites in the game to replenish ammo, modify parts, and recover your health. For a small price, it does go up as I consecutively use more workshop sites while in story missions. So it's very nice to diversify your build midway through a mission instead of having to do that each time before you head into battle. I would also like to add the soundtrack is fire and demonstrates mechanized warfare for Armored Core standards to a T, where fights are a bit more visceral and up close, and tracks becoming triumphant but also somber, fitting for the game's storyline to be so grimdark dangerous, and full of chaos. And the order missions are good, sometimes dropping lore bits and more since these missions take place after the main story, so you have 83 missions to dig into, all with different objectives ranging from defeating enemy ACs, destroying all enemy units, completing the mission within a time limit, and more. For the story, I feel it's decent, being serviceable, and I like the villains here since they ooze personality. So, in the end, is Armored Core 5 worth playing still? A bit of a yes, a bit of a no. There are too many modifications this entry does, which I didn't appreciate at the end, which makes combat a bit of a mess to enjoy, and doesn't leave a good first impression, I think. Nonetheless, I still enjoyed my time with the game to some extent. I just wish the multiple resistances, scan mode, and online features being implemented so heavily are tweaked or removed. For resistances, just remove that or keep it simple to one, not multiple. For scan mode, make it so you can attack and tweak the overlay a bit to allow that, or remove it and allow route markers to happen naturally. And allow some online modes playable with AI. If you're looking for another Armored Core entry by Fromsoftware to sink your teeth into since you already played the past entries, then I give a shaky thumbs up for this entry. And for newcomers, I am hesitant to recommend this entry and would point you to Armored Core 4 or Armored Core 4 Answer. Heck, I would even go so far to recommend past PS2 titles like Armored Core 2, 3, or Nexus instead.